Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and prominent opposition leader have formed a wartime cabinet to oversee the response to a recent attack by Hamas militants. In the besieged Gaza Strip ruled by Hamas, Palestinians are struggling to find safety as Israeli airstrikes devastate entire neighborhoods and the territory's sole power plant has run out of fuel. The new wartime cabinet comprises Netanyahu, Benny Gantz, a senior opposition figure and former defense minister, and current Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, as per a statement by Gantz. This cabinet will exclusively focus on matters related to the ongoing conflict. The rest of Netanyahu's government partners, including far-right and ultra-orthodox parties, are expected to handle other governmental affairs. This unconventional collaboration represents a rare instance of unity in the midst of deeply divided politics in Israel. It comes as the Israeli military contemplates a ground offensive into Gaza, a move driven by intense public pressure to confront Hamas following their violent incursion over the weekend. Yair Lapid, Israel's chief opposition leader, was invited to join the new cabinet but had not yet responded to the offer at the time of this report. The conflict has already claimed over 2,200 lives on both sides, and a ground offensive would likely result in a significant increase in casualties. Israeli airstrikes have already caused a widespread destruction in Gaza, reducing entire city blocks to rubble. Militants in Gaza are also holding approximately 150 people abducted from Israel, including soldiers, men, women, children, and the elderly. They continue to launch rockets into Israel with heavy barrages targeting towns like Ashkelon in the south. Israel has cut off the entry of essential supplies, including food, water, fuel, and medicine into Gaza, a densely populated strip of land home to 2.3 million Palestinians. The sole remaining access point from Egypt was shut down after airstrikes near the border crossing. As Palestinians seek refuge in UN schools and a dwindling number of safe areas, humanitarian organizations are urgently appealing for the creation of aid corridors. Hospitals overwhelmed with injured patients are running out of essential supplies, further exacerbating the crisis. Journalist Hassan Jubba described the situation in Gaza as dire, highlighting the fears for personal safety. The territory's sole power plant run out of fuel, leaving generators also reliant on scarce fuel as the only source of power. Israel has mobilized 360,000 reservists with a growing likelihood of a ground offensive that may necessitate a temporary reoccupation of Gaza. Hamas, known for operating as an underground insurgency within areas controlled by Israel, poses a significant challenge. US President Joe Biden issued a warning against other countries and armed groups entering the conflict as the US rushes munitions and military equipment to Israel and deploys a carrier strike group to the eastern Mediterranean as a deterrent. In a new approach, Israel is advising civilians to evacuate entire neighborhoods before inflicting devastation, potentially signaling preparations for a ground offensive aimed at achieving a clear victory. Desperation among Palestinians is growing as they perceive little to lose under enduring Israeli military occupation, expanding West Bank settlements, and a 16-year blockade in Gaza. Hamas reported that Israeli airstrikes destroyed an entire neighborhood in Gaza City with numerous casualties. Roads leading to the area were also destroyed, impeding the efforts of rescue teams. In another incident, Palestinian civil defense forces rescued Abdullah Musleh and 30 others after the apartment building was leveled. Musleh, a toy vendor, expressed his desire to leave Gaza, given the loss of his home and job. Israel continues to be targeted by rocket attacks, with residents in towns like Ashkelon living in fear. Meanwhile, clashes between Palestinians and Israeli forces in the West Bank have resulted in casualties, and violence has also erupted in East Jerusalem. In Gaza, over 250,000 people have been displaced, with many taken refuge in UN-run schools. Water and sanitation services for 4 lakh individuals have been disrupted due to damage to 3 facilities. Tens of thousands of residents in southern Israel have been evacuated in response to the ongoing conflict.